Okay, I have to go pick up Jasper now. I am running just an incy bit late. There's a massive great surprise. But another thing which is pretty damn cool, and I will talk about this properly at some point, Elon Musk has just announced that he is going to fly 2 private astronauts around the moon in late 2018. That is so cool. This isn't quite the weather I was hoping for. It was lovely this morning as well. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, today has got so late primarily because I had a really busy weekend, nothing like enough sleep, and my body wanted to catch up. So I overslept, and now I've got a really massive editing job because I'm editing the Roadster video that you will have watched a couple of days ago. Hopefully. Speaking of which, I'd probably better finish that. Wow, that took all day. If you're wondering what those fans are, that's my laptop doing the last little bit of rendering to get the Tesla Roadster video up. Today I'm going to talk about SpaceX because hopefully it'll make for a slightly easier to edit video, which will be good because after this I'm going to need a slightly slower day. Hey, how's it going? Is it alright?
Whoa, is he okay?
Are you doing power slides? Yeah, watch out for the floor, monkey. Okay, so I am feeling a bit on the drained side following the Roadster editing, but I do just about have enough energy to discuss SpaceX. I've always got the energy to discuss SpaceX, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm so excited by everything that organization does. Wow, if I could go out and buy shares in SpaceX, I would have already done it. Unfortunately, it's privately funded, so. This news that they're going to launch a circumnavigation mission round the moon is very interesting. Now, it's just a privately funded mission at the moment, although SpaceX have said that if NASA want to do one first, they will get priority, which kind of makes sense because they are such a large part of the SpaceX paycheck. The question is, why would I be interested in SpaceX, which is, I mean, it's a rocket business, so it is fundamentally reasonably wasteful. Even with reusing the first stage booster, you're still talking about 20% of the vehicle that is single use. What is it about SpaceX that gets me so excited when, you know, I drive an EV and generally speaking, I think we should be trying not to waste too much of the natural resource on planet Earth? And that's exactly it. To me, it seems like the upsides of space exploration are many and varied, and the not doing it is just boring. Take, for example, science. A huge amount of science and engineering know-how comes from the space industry, not just in terms of the experiments they do in space, but because they put so much effort into refining technologies that the end result is it makes things which were totally impossible. Also, you've got the fact that if you can launch satellites cheaply and you've got a good control over low Earth orbit space, then what that enables you to do is create technologies like global positioning systems, communication satellites, all sorts of things. I will be very happy when there is no more of this postcode lottery. Oh, I get signal. Oh no, the signal's gone. Oh, it's back again. What would be really great is if you got signal everywhere. Satellites. But at the moment, not practical. There are loads of things I would like to see change. Not to mention the fact that there are a lot of natural resources out in the cosmos that we could make use of down here on Earth. Also then you've got the Elon Musk insurance policy, you know, if a big asteroid is about to wipe out humanity, it'd be nice to have a backup plan in the form of a self-sustaining Mars colony. I get that. It's a bit of a further vision there, I think. All of this is enabled by what I think really makes SpaceX so fantastic, which is their focus on reusability and rapid reusability. Now, I know they haven't proven the actual reusability element yet. Yes, okay, they've brought the boosters back, but they have never actually reused one yet. I'm sure that in the next month, 2 months, they're at least going to have a go at that, and hopefully they'll be successful. And if they can achieve rapid reusability and relatively cheap reusability for their first stage boosters, then they will have brought the price of access to space down by a factor of 10 once that process is properly bedded in. And that is hugely exciting because it opens so many possibilities, and because it opens those possibilities, the development of that technology will accelerate further. I mean, ultimately, there's no reason why rockets actually have to be bad for the environment per se, provided you've got enough energy to actually run the whole thing and the source of the energy that you're using is not fossil fuels. Well, it doesn't have to be fossil fuels. It's going to be extremely exciting and interesting, and the fact that we might only be a couple of years away from a circumlunar navigation is just absolutely phenomenal, because the last time that happened was 45 years ago. I mean, it really kind of feels like, in terms of space, we went back for a long time. We went backwards, and it was like, you know what, maybe humanity just isn't up to the challenge of actually branching out from our planet. Maybe we're doomed to just be here forever and nowhere else. And I think that will be a shame, because there is an awful lot we can learn about the universe once we get out there. And that is another thing that cheap access will enable. Much larger and better developed space telescopes. I mean, the best idea with a space telescope would be to have a virtual array built up of really distant satellites, solar satellites going around the sun as opposed to around the planet, but with thousands of miles between each one of these space telescopes, which would create a huge array capable of seeing far farther into the universe and the galaxy, than has ever been done before. And that's just one of the huge number of applications that can come out of this. I mean, people talk about space being the new frontier, and so far it really hasn't been. So far it's been a commercial success for a few limited satellite applications, and for the most part it's just been a kind of an oddity, which is why the money sort of dried up a little bit with NASA over the years, and they can't really afford to do any big missions anymore. And now, we're going to explore the solar system using small, cheap robots. Well, it might do the same job from a scientific point of view, although I doubt it, but it's not going to be anything like as interesting for us back on Earth, or in fact enable us to be not the people who are back on Earth. That's my 2 cents on where I think the whole sort of SpaceX thing is heading and why I'm excited. Anyway, I hope you've found this rather shorter and slightly more unusual vlog post interesting. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. I bet this won't wind up being a shorter video, because whenever I say I think it's going to be a shorter video, it almost never is. Yeah, I'll be fascinated to see who it is that's plonked down substantial deposits for that trip, because I don't know what they call substantial deposits, but it's got to be pretty substantial.